Hello, welcome everyone. Today we are doing much earlier stream because, well, because I have plans for the evening. Plan to smoke some shisha, and I think we just gonna run a couple of hours of our game development right now and see how much we can do. There is a really cool thing happened yesterday. Well, the cool thing is questionable in that regard because basically after yesterday's stream, which was about 3 hours long, I spent another 3 hours and went to bed around 3 a.m. because I was trying to finish the freaking walls. Those that you see on the screen right now. Apparently it wasn't so easy to make them work as it was for the tiles. But I learned a lot, and funny enough, I did not find anyone on YouTube or in the public internet who is describing how to make it work. I mean, it's always possible that I did not search enough, right? But it's it's kind of a problem. So I will go through what I've learned, and probably this video will go to YouTube later. So I'll try to be as clear as possible, as as precise as possible in explaining that, because I think that will help people. If I would find this kind of video earlier, that probably will save me 5 hours of my life. So I hope that helps someone, and just let's go through that, right? So let's see. The problem we had yesterday, and where it's all began, that after we created our first layer of dirt, you could see it here, right? So the dirt looks pretty good. After we created the dirt, there is like a tile set for dirt, and there is one terrain called the ground. We made the one for the floor, and this is the stone floor. This one is not polished yet, meaning that there are some weird terrains here, but now at least I know how to fix it. I might be able to fix it soon. And then the next step was walls. So I wanted to have walls on the map, right, to display it kind of nicely here. And the problem was, let me just clean it up. How do I clean it? Oh, hold on, that's the wrong tool. I think this is the tool, right? So we do like that, right? So we cleanse all the walls. So the problem is the walls that I wanted them to work similar to my other tiles on the floor, for example. So on the floor, if I pick, let's say, the dirt, right? I can go and clean it with the dirt, and I can draw it with the dirt. So I draw the entire square, right? Why can't I? What's going on? What's going on? Well, apparently I cannot draw the dirt anymore. What the fuck? Sorry, because I have a razor tool. Yeah, so I was saying that with the dirt I can just click the entire square and paint it with the dirt, right? Or I can go to use this connection tiles. That's not really for the terrain, so we shouldn't probably do that. And this kind of gives you the understanding how the tool works. Or I just click this one, which basically one particular tile, right? And I place that. So that's how AutoSign works. And there is different probabilities. That's why it's selecting different tiles over here. You can see that, right? And the same works for the floor. So we have two terrains, the first one called the top floor and the second one called the stone floor. It's not really configured correctly yet, so don't mind that, please. But the idea here is similar. So I click the area, right, and I paint a stone floor. If I want to paint the top floor, which is like the wooden floor actually, I click area and it paint wooden floor. And if I paint like wooden floor on top of the stone floor, it replaces it, right? So we get this like nice tricks with the texture. And for the walls, I basically wanted to do the same. I wanted to make it like snap properly and auto tile properly. And the first thing I had to create is the tile set and the atlas, right? So there are different properties, and I configured it basically following the guide from Game Development Center. There are two guides, the one for tiles, the second one for walls, and the one for walls is pretty cool, pretty detailed one. So if you're curious, just go there, yeah, search for it, go.tile map collisions thingy, and you will see he explained really well how to configure the tile set for walls. He also has the reference to the tile set he uses and I'm using, so that's basically the same. And the one thing that he does not cover though, and that's really important thing, is the terrains. So all that you saw before here, how like all the auto tiling worked here, right? That because of the terrains working. And for the walls, I tried like tried so many different approaches. And I failed miserably every time, because when you paint terrain on the how to say, on the floor, right? It's really easy, and you basically paint like, okay, the entire square with this terrain, and this one you can say like, yeah, actually now I know how to fix this one, so I should do that only. Yeah, so I should be doing that only, and I can explain this tile sets on the simple example. I took a picture of the game for you to like better understand. So here is an example with the walls. So on my tile, this is a northeast wall, right? So it goes from the top to the right? So the sprite of the wall is drawing like on these 3 squares, if you see my mouse, yeah? And then we have a terrain bitmap, and the terrain bitmap is this 3x3 grid, and we have to basically tell the system how it should connect to the other tiles. And here's the trick. Because we are in the isometric diamond shape thingy, right? It's really confusing how it's supposed to work, because what does this bitmap actually mean? So the middle bit here, it is an indicator if this particular tile a wall or a terrain or not, right? So basically for every single wall, no matter what I do, the middle bit should always be marked. That's mean I am saying it is a wall, right? And then since this wall only can connect to the wall above it and below it, right? We need to cover that on a bitmap. And the trick is the wall above, it's not really a wall above. Even though the sprite is on this area, we have to draw it in the middle, because what the bitmap says that when this tile placed, it looks at the bitmap and says, here I expect the wall, here I expect the wall. And the corners, they actually pointing not towards this tile, but they pointing towards the tile which is in the corner. So if you put a bitmap here, bitmask here, it will say I expect the wall here, right? Above, but we actually do not expect the wall there. And the same for the other direction. So I expect the wall there at the bottom, but not up here, right? And that should give you an idea how we configured our walls. So now for the tile set, if I enable terrain here, yeah, this is like sometimes super laggy, and you'll have no idea what to do. So I'll show you on this one on non-field, right? So my original idea was, okay, we got a wall, right? We painted like that. I didn't know about the middle tile back then, but let's say we know about the middle tile now, a middle bit, right? So we paint the middle bit as well. And we're saying, okay, that looks natural, right? This is how my wall goes. I have middle bit, I paint wall here, middle bit, paint wall here, middle bit, and the last one, paint wall there, and the middle bit, right? And this is absolutely incorrect. Because what happens if we go back to our example? If we paint it that way, then on the example, let's say, should we do a screenshot? Yeah, we can do a new screenshot actually. Let's take the tile map or tile set. How does it work? Let's select this wall, right? And try to place it. That doesn't work that way. Okay, hold on. We go in here, we take the wall, we place it over there. Yeah. Right? And we take another wall, just for an example, and place it over there. You see the problem now, but I don't want to spoil it, so I'll show it like that. Okay, so let's take a screenshot tool. We take a new screenshot here, right? So basically what happened, that I placed two walls, one right here, one right there, right? And now I'll draw the grid as I did before. That's the one we show in the tile set editor. I'll draw the grid here, right? So basically, for that wall to work, we need to put a bit over there in the middle. We need to put a bit up here, and we need to put a bit up there. That's the correct one. Hold on. Let's let's roll back. Let's roll back. What I just did, right? I put bits along the wall direction. And what does this bit actually tell the system? That if we put it like that, then it says this wall will connect to that tile, it will connect to that tile, and it will connect to that tile. And it's really hard to imagine what will happen if we start placing the walls. Probably they'll like start snapping like this, you know, and become like angles, corners, sides, and all goes nuts. So that's why this approach, even though it's visually appealing and like you kind of think, all right, I should put bits along this line, that's actually absolutely incorrect. So we rolled out, and as I was explaining before, we should put bits over there and over there. That means we tell the system we expect wall here and we expect wall there, right? So when we place the second wall, that will snap perfectly. The wall would appear over there, right? And that wall will have the same like bits here and there, saying that, okay, this wall expects a wall here, which is correct, expects wall there, which is correct, and we like draw another wall there, right? So that's basically how the entire system will snap. And then we come into the problem, because this wall, right, that wall down below, it also should use exactly the same approach. It should use a bit here, a bit there, and a bit there, because we need to place the wall here and we need to place the wall there, right? So basically it should build like that. I mean, here is my imaginary walls. Just turn on your imagination. Right? So these are my walls. And what's happening now, you see, these two systems, They are identical. And there is no freaking way to tell Godot that that wall and that wall are different. Godot will think, oh, those walls are the same. And now what starts happening? You place that wall, and then all of a sudden, when you place in the wall next to it, it will place the wall over here. And then it will place a wall over there. And they basically randomly would like change size. So seems like Godot by default has no way, does not have like any good account how to distinguish between a close wall and the far wall. And exactly the same problem happens for the other direction, for the horizontal walls. If we say like these are vertical, the horizontal walls which will be like this, right? Which will be going in that direction. They will need to have a grid similar to that, and they'll need to be placed over here in the middle as well. So that's what it makes what makes the entire system absolutely tricky. And if you try to build it like that, if you try to put it like in the middle, as I did here, you will see in the tile map that right here we have a 4 variation, right? It's actually more because I broke it. Hold on, I will clean it up right now. That's because I placed these ones, right, which are incorrect. Yeah, let me get the cat and we continue. Just a second, please. So, where are we? Okay, she's drinking my water. Okay, fine. Fine. We deserve that. Okay, so, and basically, the solution here is pretty interesting. Because to make it work, what we need to do is actually split them. You see that I have 2 terrains right now? Yeah, this visual problem that we get in is walls, the front walls and back walls, that's how I call them, like, or close wall and far wall, they do not snap together because the system does not know how to distinguish between the walls tending closer to you and the walls tending farther to you. So the solution here is to split them into 2 different terrains. And that's, if you think about it, it's actually will help us quite a lot in the future, because if you wanna hide the entire terrain, for example, when the person walks into the building, we can hide all the front walls separately from the back walls, right? So we can do that pretty easily then. And here I have selected this connect mode, right? So basically, if I'll start painting right now the walls, you could see it starts, I'm painting front walls, right? It starts with the corner, because corner has like most possible connections, and we keep going and it's painting the wall for us, right? If I move it that way, like up here, it will put a corner, right? And then start painting another front wall, which is incorrect, so we cleaned it up. We continue painting that direction. So these are front walls. There are some mess for me. Okay. So now front walls are done. Now we have to paint the back walls, right? So the back walls, basically, how do I move that? Yeah. What should I click? G. Yeah, so for the back walls, it's actually the same. We don't have to select an individual tile here. We can paint with connect mode. So I start painting here because that place is occupied with the wall already. So if I place it here, right? Oh, that would not, okay. That would not snap because our corner is supposed to be on the front wall, or am I wrong? Yeah, no, they snap here, right? And then I paint the other side, and you see corner snapped again. And here I need to again put a front wall because the corner owned by the front wall. So here we are. And this makes system absolutely magical, because now we have two terrains and then all the walls are snapping. The front walls and back walls, they aren't really snapping together because it's two separate terrains, but visually they still look like they snapping, because you know the art is snapping, right? So yeah, that's the solution I discovered. It took me just 5 hours. Not a problem. And now what I'm doing, I'm adjusting the tile set with more values. I bring in the broken versions of the walls. I'll not use them as the part of terrain, because if they are part of terrain, they'll try to appear with some probability when I build normal walls. So instead I keep them as the broken versions, and if I need to put a broken version, I'll put one of these tiles manually, and they still snap to the other tiles, so it's pretty good. I guess. Yeah, they should snap. Maybe they won't snap, maybe they won't snap. Alright, so, and here we basically continue a little bit with those tiles. So these are the front wall, this is the front wall, there are back walls. Again, you see paints in them in the middle, super important. Here are the T-junctions, or they're not really T-junctions because it's basically a wall with the column in the middle, right? So we can use them as T-junctions, but we don't have to, because we don't have a proper T-shaped wall that goes like, you know, that runs in the middle of the sprite. Yeah, just a sec. I'll clean up here a little bit with the cat. Yeah. Something I did not mention are edges, right? So edges, or the corners, they also quite tricky visually, because since we have the terrain, since we have the sprite that goes along the edge, you, or at least me, mentally in my head, I want to paint the thing along the edge, right? But here we get exactly the same problem. If we paint it along the edge, that would say the system that we expect the conjunction not here at the bottom, right? But if we paint like this one, for example, that would say we expect a wall over there on top. And if we paint this edge, the corner, right? Not the edge. If we paint the corner, that would say the system we expect the wall over here when they like connect into the corners. So for the corners, we have to paint them basically middle, middle, middle. That would say that we expect the wall down here and down there. And that's it. And for that one, let me actually think, because probably the corners, they would not have the problem as the sides, right? Because these corners are different. I can paint them all as the back corners. I don't have to, I think. If I repaint them as the back corners, as the back walls, right? What happens now, I don't have corners anywhere here, but I have corners over there, right? And that's mean the corners, oh yeah, that would not work, because this corner has to be for the front one, for sure. So we repaint that one. So that corner has to be the front corner, the front wall corner. And where did you go? You went there. And those corners can be the back corners, honestly. So what we get now is, let's see, let's just test it again, okay? I hope you don't mind. So if we test again, we start in a corner. Ha! Nice. So we start moving. over there, right? We get 2 corners. So we start moving corner, 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 right? We move that direction, corner, corner. Yeah, don't move it like this. It's start breaking things. So corner, 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 and now we move in that direction, right? Like down there. And you see, we clicked here, and because it has no connection to that one, it's kind of snap weirdly. But yeah, how to make it work is a curious question actually. Maybe that one supposed to be on the front one as well. Yeah, because otherwise it does not know that it needs to snap to the sides. But let's switch to the front one now and try to paint it here. Yeah, it actually works. So we paint the front one and we got a corner again, right? And it snapped to the previous wall. And now we start moving. We start moving and come on, come on. Thing, this one, right? On the button here, Q. Yeah. So we start moving and we keep getting the corner, which is correct. And now we keep moving here. So we build the house. We build a house. And I guess if we try to move, put wall here, right? It still should kinda work. Yeah, it kinda work. It does not fully work because now this tile, hold on, this tile, right? This tile fights for 2 different versions of the tile. So that wall that you see over there is painted from the front wall, but the back wall, nothing is painted in the back wall here. So that's why we don't see the wall over there. You see, so those 2 tiles are occupied. To be able to make like inner sections and to make it work, we'll need to have a couple of more variations of the tile. So we'll need to have, to make a T-junction, we basically need to have the wall which goes from north to west, and also from this side called top left, from top left through the middle of the tile to the bottom right. And yeah, as you know, we're basically missing the graphics for that. We probably can't even do that ourselves. It's not too hard to expand that. These sprites are really beautiful. But yeah, so let's put the back wall again here, right? So now we can configure probabilities as well. We got all the walls there. This is all correct now. This all looks correct. All right. 1 second, please. Yeah, so probabilities, right? I think it should be set. Maybe it's not. Okay, it's not set. So I'll paint 5 on those. I'll paint 5 on those. These are like basic tiles. I don't even know like why there are 2 versions of them, but it's fine. So then we keep the tile with the column as purely decorational, right? So it does not have any, how to say, structural sense, but they'll just appear like from time to time, like you see over here, right? Some wall will have a tile on the column in the middle. It shows that it needs some structural integrity, maybe. And those tiles, they have 1, but they will still never appear because there is no texture or terrain on them, right? They're not painted with the terrain, which is totally fine. Here are some Z sort origin. I think that should be correct right now. But what I did, I actually asked AI to copy those from the other ones I had before. If they don't work, we can adjust them later. And there's also a physics layer, so each of those got collisions. And that's nice. Let's see. Yeah, just for the test's sake, we can try to put something like that in the game, can we? No, maybe we can't. Not from here. I don't remember how it's done, honestly. Oh, from over there, from the tiles. So we click this one, right? And we cannot replace the front wall because they like different terrains, but we can replace the back wall, I guess. Yeah, like that. So basically if we want to do destruction of our walls and objects, we just do that, right? We just replace one tile with the destroyed version of this tile. You see, and that works pretty well. Can also do, yeah, we can also do those. Let's take the front one. Hold on. What I was doing. Take the front one. Why can't you paint? Oh yeah, because of that. Yeah. So kind of that stuff. It looks pretty nice. What we're still missing is walls and the windows and the rest of the stuff. So let's ask AI to clean up the folder because we do still have like these versions stored in the project. Can you please clean up these sprites that we moved to the atlas? The stone wall aged, stone wall broken, etc. So we clean it up and we'll create a new atlas in the same tile set, I think. I think that works that way. In the same tile set. Or does it work that way? Well, we'll check now, just in a bit. Okay, so we remove those files. Yeah, we can put our model to the lower version because we were using... Yeah, I gave up. I tried to use Sonet's medium thinking and he was just so dumb trying to figure out that problem with the tiles. It looked like it does not know or didn't know enough documentation of the Godot, and it didn't think, how to say, didn't look deep enough. So it was like very surface level thinking. So I switched to Opus 4.6 to the highest effort to get some actual results from the model, to like try to explain me how this system works so I can like understand. And I can actually, yeah, help them to figure out what to do next. All right, so and now you have suggested to make columns, doors, windows, and other parts in a separate atlas, right? Yeah, so let's re-import it now. Should re-import the resources because this wall's a gun now. Yeah, let's see. Same atlas is separate, so you move on to the damaged wall sprites before deciding. Yeah, right, I have decided, I just did not tell you. I wanted to make a separate atlas. That makes total sense. Could you do that for me? And the problem I'm doing it with the AI because Godot freaking laggy. I spent so much time yesterday, so many attempts yesterday trying to make something to work, trying to like, you know, put the images here and combine them into Atlas with Atlas merging tool, and it just didn't work. I don't know why. Like I can't explain. It would freeze, it would lag, it would show me some weird I don't know, state. It would put them in an atlas, and the atlas will have empty pieces in it, and you're like, what the fuck is that? So yeah, totally confusing. Oops, totally confusing. I didn't know what to do with that, and I kind of gave up on it. Let's see. Oh yeah, look how nice they matching. Yeah, we'll create a lot of constructions with that tile set. It's pretty neat. What we really need to add here, we need to have shadows. We'll have shadows, not today, but very, very soon in the future. I think I know how to do them. Okay, so the planned layout of the atlas, that will be a huge atlas, but that's exciting as well. While he's doing that, we can actually try, we can try one thing that I wanted to test before. So the idea was, in theory, we should be able to build a multi-layered maps here. And to do so, where is my hand tool? It's a G. Yeah. To do so, we basically need a new layer of the constructions. So this one will be walls. It's actually one layer. I think we can do it on separate layers, but I don't know why we need to do it on separate layers. So if we create a new tile map layer, right? Oh, not inside, not inside. Like over here, right? Okay, so give me a second. I will approve comments here. All right, yeah, sure. He's just combining assets for us. Right, so we call it the second floor, right? And the second floor, I guess, should start with some groundwork, right? So that's second, right, it's second floor, so we assign here the tile set, which will be one of the tiles that we have before, the floor tile set, right? And we can paint those tiles with the terrain tool as well. So let's see if we paint it like that. Yeah, this tiles does not snap properly yet, but we are going to fix it soon at some point, right? So I painted those tiles. Right now they're looking like they're laying on the ground, right? I think I might need to do it. I think I need to do it like over here as well. Let's see. Right, and I need to set a Z index different than the floor is. So the walls, let's see, the walls, they have Y sort enabled, and it's Z index 1. So the second floor, they should have a Y sort enabled, where is that? Ordering, and level 2, right? So that way we got like an illusion of it being above, and we can like cut few things from here. Oops, sorry. No, don't use this one. Yeah, use that one. What the fuck? Yeah, something like that. So that's kind of visually appearing on top, right? And with the new imports that we are going to get right now, or very, very soon, or we should also have half walls, maybe as the separate sprite set. Stone wall round broken, stone wall round window, stone wall gate, window, on column, stone wall top. Yeah, I think the stone wall top, that's what we will need. So that will be a second floor. Yeah, hold on, sorry. It will be a tile map layer, and that will be a second floor walls, right? And for this one, we also quick load a set, which will be the new tile set, not created yet. Hold on, we will wait for it. We'll let AI finish the job with combining it into an asset, into Atlas map, right? Okay. Atlas structure ID in the trace won't match. You need to open go and re-import it. Alright, let's see. It will lag a little bit. It needs to scan and re-import assets. Ooh. Alright, so let's see. We'll get a new tile set, I think, here. And it's isometric, stacked, horizontal offset. It's 256 by 128, or let's tweak 515. And I think it's called construction props asset. That's the one we got, right? And we do say yes here. So we re-import it, we change this one back, right? So the square that you can see here, it's set properly. So now we need to adjust all the heights. Might be a little messy to do, but I guess it's something like, we set 182 again, we'll see how that works. I think it should be lower a little bit. I think it will be like 192, maybe. No, that's too low. 190. Yeah, like 190 for the columns at least. So yeah, and here it's probably even different. Or are they similar? I don't know. We'll need to figure out the actual texture origin here. We can just set everything to 190 and then we see if that looks weird. We redo it, right? So we set those, we set those, we set those. Okay. Yeah, we can lift it a little bit, maybe. Maybe. And what else do we need? We need z-index we don't need, I think. Y-sort origin we don't need here. Terrain probability also ignoring. We would need to have a physics layer. Probably on both, not sure. But definitely on this one, because we'll need to set collisions. So let's see, physics layer. Is it on physics? That's not on physics, right? That's on physics layer here. And that's, we set collision layer 1 on that. And tiles. That's my second floor walls, right? So here I can paint the physics. That will take some time, honestly. You know, we don't care about the physics just yet, right? Because we don't have the characters walking in, right? So let's just for fun set on the walls level, right? We don't have an atlas here. So we probably need another atlas. Let's see, we'll need another tile map layer, which will be outside of this one. It will be props, or let's call it furniture. Let's call it furniture, right? I mean, it's not really furniture, but it's kind of is. And construction props. Yeah, it's called props. Okay, props it is. So props it is, construction props. That's already set here. And the props here, they have the same properties as this one, so as the walls. So we say physics layer here. We do have z-index 1 and y-sort enabled, right? And now we can start play with it. We can add some door. Actually, I don't know how it's gonna work, honestly. Let's see. It's she. Alright, so because we add in door, probably we need to add a door, we'll need to have it on the same tile layer. Hold on, I need to ask AI about that. So look, I think there is a logical problem. If you want to put a door on the wall, right, and let the rest of the walls to auto tile around it, or if you want to put like a wall with the window, it has to be in the same tile set as the other walls. Otherwise I cannot put a door from a different tile set to my tile map layer. Yeah, so there is a logical issue, is that there is the logical issue is that he said it would be easier, but it might not work at all. So probably we'll need to move it. And then he says, oh, but we actually deleted all the images, so we cannot move it anymore. Yeah. So the split should be a wall tile set, walls and anything that sits in the wall and needs auto tile interconnect, and construction props tile set. That means we need to move the wall integrated pieces back into wall tile set as a second atlas source. The freestanding props that remain in construction props atlas would be stone column wood, wooden pile, stairs, stairs edge, stairs corner. Let's commit first. Commit, because I'm afraid he'll like fuck up everything now, as he usually does. Commit first and then rebuild it. But while he's rebuilding, we can actually already play with props, right? No CD. Stop doing CD, fucker. Yeah, so we can play with props. I told you. No CD. See the dumb, you're fucking dumb. So he's in a repo, that's what I'm saying, he's dumb. He's in a repo and he's trying to CD in the same repo and then do git status. And the trick is he has permissions to do git status, but he has no permissions for some reason to do CD. And since he asks like CD and git status every time, he bothering me with permissions. Now let's rebuild this with correct split. Wall integrated pieces. Freestanding props. Try it. Yeah, he deleted stuff. Okay, yeah, just a sec. Okay, try to get it. Is he changing the repo? I wonder. Because I mean, I'm working with the Git for like 12 years and I don't know how to extract files from commit without switching, direct to this commit. If he can do that. Oh, you know what he's doing? He actually looking at the div of the commit where we deleted the files. He's looking at the div and I think he will like basically copy the binary from the div directly. Crazy. Crazy. That's, yeah. I mean, that's smart. It's really smart. Yeah, so as you see now, I'm not really building much of the game itself. And that's actually what I'm doing is really important, at least for myself, to understand what the hell is going on. And to also prepare all the assets for the game when we start building it, right? So props, let's see, walls. We put it on the same layer as walls. No, we put it in the props layer. Look, we can put it here somehow. It doesn't look so good, honestly. It should be lower, I think, or the stairs should be higher. Because right now they look like they overflow in, right? And this one does not really touch them. We can do what? What can we do with that? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, interesting. We can try to build. Yeah, they different heights, not like half of the height of this one. But that one, it's actually kind of good height. It goes the same. Let's look at it here. It's kind of the same height as this one. So I guess if you want to make it work with those tiles has to be lower. So maybe let's remove these ones, right? So imagine that first we build the stairs, sorry, and then we're trying to build the stone floor for it, right? And the stone floor here is still kind of way too high. So I guess if you want to do it for the second floor, we need to lower it somehow. And I think that can be achieved by lowering the position of the floor itself. Like this, right? So they should look a little bit shifted towards each other. Right? And a bit that way, I guess? I'm not sure. We can ask AI again to help us. But that's probably not so interesting. Yeah, so they shifted a little bit against each other. Visually. I mean, it's kinda okay. Kinda okay. Yeah. Without any like shadows, we don't really see what's going on here, but I guess if we paint it that way, let's say we paint it this way, we pretend it's a second floor, and then visually it looks like the one above, even though in reality it's like the same 2D stuff, right? And also cool, because we have that, if the character, for example, walks underneath, we actually can hide the entire floor, right? And make it like semi-transparent and let them see through. That'll be pretty cool. So what we did is minus 80, let's say, and 60 here, right? Or maybe we should do like 80, 80. I don't know, 60. Let's see. Ah, he's waiting for my command. Okay. What is he doing now? Well, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Yes, my lord. So this one is that index 2. this is the floor, right? And then transform, I think we just do the same, minus 80 and 60, to keep those two aligned. Oh, we can even like put them, I think, in one container. Minus 80 and 60, right? So they should get aligned. Ordering the same, not even like higher. Z index even higher than the floor, right? And now, why didn't you move? Oh fuck! I think you did something incorrectly. You moved second layer walls to the walls atlas. Maybe we can like duplicate it. Stone wall openings atlas. What? Yes, we said that from the very beginning. He just likes to burn my tokens. Fuck again! Ugh! More work because you're dumb. That's why it's more work. Yeah, 1 second. 1040. I'm just trying to check. What? That's crazy. My girlfriend saying that she saw a Steven Seagal and he said hi to her. What? What? That's insane. Okay, we should put more structural integrity to our second floor, so we see what's going on. Yeah, the props, we're drawing on the props, and the props will get the columns, and we'll get columns here, yeah, here and there. Oops, G, okay. Paint it, please. So like this, I guess. But this middle column, right? We need like the side column. Let's see. Yeah, kind of like that. But I guess it probably should be in the middle. I mean, those guys. I think they should be like in the middle. And because we have 128, we can do minus 128 like this. And then we do Y position is 64, something like that. Again, not sure if I'm right. We might like experiment more with that. But yeah, props. Let's remove the props again. Let's set them. So if I put it here, then it's not in the middle. I put it here and I put it there, right? So this way they are in the middle. So they kind of like, yeah, holding. Or maybe I'm doing it in the wrong way again. Hold on. What if we do minus 64 here? Oh, this goes way too far in that direction. But if we do 0, yeah, the 0 is actually pretty good, right? So this looks much more realistic because basically what we did, we shifted our x-axis by the half of the size of the square. So 2 floors now are shifted horizontally against each other, right? But not vertically. And that gives us the visual trick what we needed here. So I guess I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. And we can do some props there as well, I guess. Why you don't want to paint? Okay, yeah, that's why. Yeah, so these are standing on the sides. Let's see, so here we should have a similar logic. Damn. If I want to paint it like that, for example, just again thinking out loud. If I want to paint it like that, make it an illusion of the structure, right? Then our wall is not sitting on top of it. So if you wanted to sit on top of it, where do we go? If we go here, -64, what does it give? Yeah, that's shifts horizontal. So that is correct already, for sure. So now we need to make a shift vertical, and let's see. Yeah, this is what I had before, right? So if we do 40, maybe we do 30. 30 already not so good, but I think like 48 gives us the best perspective, right? So if we look again at the props, so this individual prop, that's like this, right? So it basically holds in the top layer, the top level. Yeah, I mean, kinda okay, I guess. So let's see, let's remove it. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good to me. Did you finish, my friend? Alright, so let's see. So what he did, he probably fucked up all again. Stone wall opening atlas. So he made a separate atlas. Okay, good, I guess. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, sorry. So, fuck. Yeah, let's try to put like one door, and this is the front wall, right? So it should be a front door like that. That works, right? That works. Let's put a couple of windows as well. The front windows like that. So they snap together, they replace the wall, so it works kind of perfectly, right? The other windows, oh, let's put an open door like this. We can put some nice structures over there. It's also like a good to experiment with, just a little bit. So we got windows, yeah, that works. So it's different tile atlas, right, from the walls. I guess he should have configured them more or less correctly. He set origins as we done before. Okay. And if you want to do a the props are there, right? Yeah, what the hell is tiny walls? We had like tiny walls texture. I cannot see it. Oh, it's over there, okay. So the second floor walls should get a different terrain, different tile set. So we should load the same tile set here as the floor, no, as the wall tile set, right? Yes. So we paint with those. We paint with those. Look at that. Right? Yeah, here the same problem as before. We have a conflict. We don't have an angled the corner tile for that. Unfortunately, we need to make one, I guess. But the rest is kinda here. Yeah, so we're missing a couple of tiles. Missing a couple of tiles. We cannot literally finish it properly. But this is kind of what we got. You can see clearly that the offset is wrong here because it's placed like on the half of the tile. And we can achieve that by shifting this. We can achieve the better look by shifting this one slightly. Like here. No, sorry. 40. Yeah. So we can shift the entire layer. That's like one idea. 30. No, hold on. 32. 34. 36. Yeah, perfect. And then we can shift the other direction. Minus 120. Almost there. Minus 116. Now we need to shift this one again. Yeah, kinda like this. I mean, still doesn't look too good. But I guess that's actually we need to solve differently. Instead of shifting the layer, yeah, let's not shift the layer. Instead of shifting the layer, we should have changed the origin of the texture, I guess. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, let's ask AI about this one actually. So do you know how to configure with our setup? How to configure like multi-layer? I've been playing with this isometric test scene, and I set a couple of different tile map layers for the first floor and for the second floor. And for the second floor to look good, I think we need to shift its position to a certain amount. Do you know what's the correct approach for that? Yeah, because as I see, I kind of like guesstimating here, not really knowing how. But even my guess is like still not too bad. We get it like too much, a little bit. Yeah. And you see, we kind of have visuals. We have visuals for a multi-flooring base, right? Not too bad. Oh yeah, I wanted to clean up. I want to clean up the floor here. Yeah, so these tiles are still incorrect. Let's maybe actually quickly fix them. So the trick with terrain here. Let's see. So the terrain here, we need to set the middle prop here to say it's the terrain. That's the bug we do have right now. Totally, right? So we set it in the middle and everywhere. And then we basically saying how it's connected with other tiles, right? And here I think it's slightly tricky because I'm not sure like what's the idea of these different tile sets. Either they should go kind of randomly, or you know, we can paint it all like that, right? We can paint it all, meaning that this all is a terrain, and we always expect it to snap to other floor tiles, right? And with that in mind, if we go and paint it on the somewhere, like let's clean this one, Let's clean it from, oh, sorry, not that. Yeah, so let's paint stone around it. What the fuck? Oh, eraser mode, okay, of course. Yeah, so now we have the stone terrain, right? I think I can paint, no, I still don't paint on top. I thought it should transition to stone. Maybe I'm missing something. So if I put it here, it goes to the ground. Yeah, like that. And you see the pattern is basically whatever pattern. Right, so nobody said that we can guarantee to get a pattern here, right? And I thought we can preserve the pattern, but I don't think we can. And I guess to paint, yeah, because they on the same tile map layer, so they would always replace each other. That's how. Yeah, let's fix the... so yeah, this is fine, we just keep it like that. Let's fix this atlas, because these corners are incorrect. So that one is correct, it takes all. These are now correct, they have like one piece, right? So here, let's see, we expect tile on the side, yeah, and we, oops, sorry, painting the wrong one. Oh, we can paint the two terrains on one tile. Interesting. Maybe that's how we do transition. Maybe that's how we do transition. I need to investigate it further. So, but for now, yeah. Basically, for these tiles, we are saying, I want to have a stone wall, the stone floor over here, and this is a stone floor as well, right? So that's not a dirt, that's a stone floor. Do I have to have a stone floor over there? Sure. Over there? Sure. I guess. So we do like this. We test it. So we put it in the middle, right? And here similar. So basically those tiles will be behaving the same. Meaning that the system can either give us this tile or that tile. It's totally fine. It's kind of like the edge tile variation, right? And for that one, because it's a corner tile, we always expect to have a corner, but we do not want to have the sides anywhere. And yeah, we actually should put it like in the middle as well. That's what I forgot to do. Because this is still a stone tile. So if we don't do that, we will get errors. I don't see it now, but it was like islands floating around. That's an error that happens if you don't put like a middle tile. And for those ones, we also do similar. We remove the sides and we keep the middle. Let's see how it works. I mean, I hope I understand it now, but I'm not sure that I totally do. Yeah, so like that. Let's go and paint it. Let's see how the stone floor works. Yep, much better. Much better. And you see now if we like try to expand, right, on the sides, we're basically not getting individual weird islands. They all kinda making sense now. Yeah. And you see like this pattern, that's what we had before and that was wrong. So now if I repaint it, I'll get more or less straight angles. Okay, what's wrong here? I think what's wrong, we're not getting any like transition tiles over there. I think we should be getting like transition tiles everywhere. That's probably something I still have done wrong. Because this individual tile, that one expects to be, let's see. Yeah, this one's snapping weirdly. Yeah, so if I'm putting like transition tiles there, And this is still valid, which is weird. I think we should fix that. Actually, hold on, let's think about it. Because this one is still considered as the floor, right? Maybe that should not be that should not be considered as the floor. That's why. Okay, let's go back and change those. So we remove middle bits from everywhere on those. So that tile will be not considered as the floor, but as the dirt. I guess that makes sense. Because if it's considered as a floor, you can see what happens here. That this tile, because we considered it as the floor as well, right? And this one considered as a floor. So it's perfectly fine for that tile to be over here, because they all floors, I guess. Yeah, we need to adjust this edged one to be an angled like that. We remove middle ones from here. Let's see. Let's see. I might still be wrong again. It's totally possible. Maybe I'm missing something again. So we put it there, right? So those aren't floors anymore. Those aren't floors anymore. Those are not floors anymore. Okay. Let's see. Now it's better. You see? The edges became edges. Truly, like, truly edged. So if I place an island over here, right, you see? It's all kind of well evenly distributed. With the edge tiles on the sides, yeah, more or less like every edge is covered correctly here. Nice. Nice. Yeah, we can see that. Sweet. So you see, right now, it's interesting actually how it works. You see, I'm putting like one tile, right? Let's clean this one up. I'm putting one tile, one click here. And it's immediately put me 4 tiles, 5 tiles, because the tile I have here, it wants to have a floor on each side, right? And this tile wants to have a floor on that side. But those tiles aren't floors, they dirt. So that's like the best guess from the system that, okay, these are dirt tiles, I know about that. And because they are dirt tiles, but they want to have a floor tile, they perfectly match to be this like tiny island system. And it should, I think, if we make, just out of curiosity, if we take like one of those, right? If we take that set, for example, and we say, put like middle bit, we say these are the floor tiles, right? Now, those aren't floor, but those are floor. So what happens now, if I go here, I click again on that tile. Okay, that's not happening. I wanted to show like, yeah, like this. Since they're floor tiles, now it's matching. Yeah, now it's weird. You see, this tile appeared individually because it's still a floor tile, it's a valid floor tile. Right, and it wants another floor next to it, and this one, like, okay, I want a floor next to it, so they perfectly match. Yeah, so this is a good example why it's actually incorrect to have that tiles as a floor. So let's remove that. Good. I think we're done with those. Ooh, hello, Saichik. I do mean it. I'm really deep into tile system. I'm so deep. Okay, and let's see what agent told me about these floors. So he looked at my... Hello. Thanks for coming. Welcome. I was in Serbia on the weekend, and you know how they say welcome in Serbia? Dobro došli. So I hope you dobro došol. So the second floor position isn't right conceptually. In isometric, moving up one floor is purely a screen Y offset. There is no X shift. The correct offset is the visual height of your walls in the screen pixels, applied as negative Y, upward. The approach, floor to floor offset, how tall floor sprites appear from the ground to ceiling in the screen space. For my setup, sprites are 182, the wall body starts at 182, up from the tile origin, the visual ceiling height you want to match empirically. Okay, so the formula would be 0 to minus floor height pixels. Hold on, trying to figure it out what it means. So the key inside the group on the second floor layers under node 2D. Okay, yeah, group those layers under node 2D and just offset the parent node. The position is minus 256. Why is it minus 256 if my texture origin offset is 182? Shouldn't be minus 182? Or am I missing something? Okay, so the suggestion he gave me basically to clean up the shit I did. So we remove that one. We set it 0, 0 here. And we say Y offset is minus, well, he said 256. I think it's bullshit, honestly. That might be correct. I don't know why so much. Technically, it shouldn't really matter how much. We can like even set 0, right? Maybe then we don't match in the coordinates. Let's see. We need to create a new node here. The child node, node 2D, just the container node here. We put those two in the container. We start switching the position of this one. Rough guess, not derived from anything solid. Let me be precise. Texture origin is about sprite alignment, so it offset where the sprite draws relative to the tile position, so the wall art sits correctly on the floor. It's not the same as visual floor to ceiling height. How far the top of the wall art is above the floor tile in screen pixels. And yeah, we need to measure it, I guess. And what if we just keep Y offset at 0? Because when I'm thinking about 0, so let's see. If my node 2D at the 0 right now, and I want to place a wall on top of it, right? Like over here. Let's see. So let's say it's the 0, right? I want to place the wall. Oh, what's that? Oh no, they place in terrain. Well, we can place terrain as well, right? Oops, sorry, that's really wrong. That's really wrong. So let's do it like this. No, because yeah, I know. I know, that's why. How far is that? Like, I guess like this. Front walls, yeah. So this is our like second floor. And now, if we shift it, as he said, to minus 82, we get like really far away. I don't get it. We'll draw the same height as the first floor tiles. They'd overlap and look like they're on the same level. No visual separation between floors. Well, maybe I'm dumb, but I don't really see the visual difference between doing this one and doing like, I mean, that one is actually kind of better. Minus 182. Then it goes like there, really far there. I don't know, honestly. All of these options look weird to me. None of them look like I'm really changing the flooring anyhow. Yeah, even like 0 looked better. Looks better. I don't know, I think visually I get it by using different Z order. So they appear on top. And if I shift Y coordinate, it basically just shifts the entire layer to the right. And maybe that's how it works. Again, I have no clue. So if we test it a little bit, maybe we can try to figure out like how high the wall is. Basically what he wants us to measure is this height, right? And adjust Y layer by that height. So we can do that. We can pick our atlas. And look at construction props, I guess, right? Or at not here. It's construction, but not construction props. It's stone wall atlas. Which one is that? Oh, that's my old one. Stone wall atlas, right? Is there a measuring tool somewhere? Ah, so annoying. How do I measure it? How do I measure it? Well, we can do something really stupid. Y sort origin, texture origin. So let's see, if we set to 0 for this one, it's appear up top, right? So yeah, basically this one shows us the top layer, right? And then that one shows us like, how much was that? Minus 182, 190. Or is it? Yeah, 190, 192, 191, something like that. So I guess the 191 should be the right like Z index. Oh, sorry, the Y coordinate, not Z index. Yeah, so if we set this one to minus 191, yeah, they just fly somewhere. But then we clean it. We clean it here, we just redraw it, and that would look kinda what we wanted, right? Yeah, we just redraw it over there again. Second floor, stone. Ah, interesting. So this stone, that stone wants us to be interesting. So now we cannot do a stone without dirt. Curious. So we can do this one. We can do a top floor stone. Right, like this. So now it visually appeared still really weird, because now it's like really high above my other layer. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess. That should be lower, because this is like really far away now. And that matches the height of the wall. It does not match the height of the support systems here. Oh, but the support system also the weird heights. You see, they don't match here too. Oh, because probably it should be different index for all of them. Well, that's something to work on. Maybe not now. This is just an experimentation again with this system. Right. So we have props here. Let's see. I guess the solution that we're trying to achieve is basically place this one a little higher. So this one goes to like, I don't know, 160. Right, so that one lifted, is it? No, lower actually, 190. What? What? 190 I said. Yeah, something like that, I guess. And then the other one, this one, should go higher. Because right now it's 182, let's say 160. Right? So this one lower. And that's about right. That's about right here. So I think it should be 162 maybe. So we align it there at the bottom, you see. And for that one actually, we also probably want to move it slightly to the side, aren't we? And the tricky will be to do the middle one, right? Because now it misaligned on both sides. It's higher here and lower there. Interesting challenge. I think it should go lower as well. Oh, they are so different, weird. It's fucking dance. You never had a chance. Yeah, this is really weird. Okay, I think they should be equal. 162. Yeah, like that. And then we do the same for the rest. For the rest here. Yeah, like that. And maybe we shift it by Y as well. What, kitty? Let's say 20. I don't know. 20 does not shift it enough. Maybe they are minus 20. Never mind. That's good enough. Yeah, now the floor is like way too high. Because floor is aligned with this one now. With this side. Ow! 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 Pause! Come on. Careful. Be careful, please. Be careful. Alright. Alrighty, right. Let's see. In screen space, shift in Y position, move the layer straight up, down on the screen. That is correct way. Well, maybe shift in Y position on the plane 2D it does. Because again, let's see. Let's remember that, right? -1. Okay, yeah, it does. It does. 162. Let's see. It looks weird. It's too low here, too high there. Should we do like -60? No, that's bad. -80. -100. Keep going, keep going. Minus 120. So now they match over there, but they don't match here. But I guess that's we can achieve with just painting one layer more, right? Like this, and one layer more here. I don't know. Maybe. Well, I need to figure out the geometry of the world. And okay, yeah, that kind of looks fine. So what's that? Minus 120 for some reason. For some reason it's minus 120. Let's close this one. Okay, I think we good with plane. So what are you doing? You having fun, Kitty? For the base building where the player builds multi-story structures, you eventually want the Y offset to look right. But if MEP just needs floors, not to interfere with each other, yeah, bastard. To visually elevate the floor in isometric, it won't shift diagonally. If you see in diagonal movement, you might have been adjusting the tile coordinate instead of the node position. Okay, that said, that index alone gives you what you want visually, depends on your game, two scenarios. They also connect floor. Okay. Okay, fine. Fine. Let's clear the context here. Let's clear the context. We do a little more coding right now, and then I'll go and smoke shisha. That's the plan for the evening. That's the plan for the evening. Alright, so we switch from... we're on Senate right now. Okay, good. So we have isometric switch. Please review this plan, see where we stand right now. We have done a couple of big refactorings already, so all the preconditions should be met, and I think we should be ready to start working on the isometrics. Commit code first, by the way. Yeah, so he'll research, but in general, this style looks pretty good. I kind of happy with that. We can try to write, actually we can try to write a shader for the shadows in a separate window. It's probably can be fun, it should be fun. So we do have shader. Do we have a shader? Do we have a doc for it? I think we have a doc for it. Let me see. Don't remember the name. Docs. I think it should be in plans. Plans. Wall occlusion shader plan. Hold on, where's my shadow shader plan? Where's my shadow shader? Yeah, so this guy. Oh yeah, that's another discussion actually. Okay, let's park this one for a bit. We'll get back to it soon. But I am trying to find the document about the shader for the shadows. Where did we put it? Oh fucker. Open history. Where is my history? Yeah, this one. There you go. Sidecheck, are you still here? Sidecheck. Probably he left. Occlusion shader plan. But it says occlusion shader plan, it's not the shadow shader. You're right, that's wall occlusion system. That's a different thing from shadows. Yes, we discussed that in this session. Can you look through the session history? Maybe I can look through the session history. Shadow. Yes, here we go. Shadow, 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 shadow. Let's copy all of that crap and feed him back. Here. Come on! Man, you like in this session. Why I see your session and you don't? That's so weird. That's it! Can you pull it out of that isometric switch plan, make it as a separate plan? I think it kinda independent thing and I can build it in parallel while working on isometric switch. Yay, yay, yay. Alright, let's see. So is here insertion, full picture, grid util centralization, not done. Yeah, we need mass for the grid, for the isometric grid. I wonder, sorry for interrupting, you were mentioning about grid util serialization thing or whatever. That we need to build it, but since isometric is fully supported by Godot, don't they have built-in system for that? Yeah. Also important to note, the asymmetric switch itself, tile shape isometric on the tile set, is editor work, not code. Your test scene suggests you've been doing that already. The code work is P2, making grid utils a single choke point on the tile set change propagates automatically. Exactly, that's the whole point. Tile map has local to map and map to local built in. When the tile set is about writing asymmetric coordinate mass, it's about making grid utils a thin wrapper that delegates it to the map layer. Okay, got it. P2y grid utils to tile map layer, then changing the tile set to isometric is the actual switch. I don't know. Do you want to do grid utils or do you want to keep doing what you were doing before? Grid the utils. Come on. Have the context. Grid the utils. And because he started digging into something else. Floor, tile map. Oh no, it's still, he's still going on that one, okay. Alright, makes sense. Alright. I need to book something. Give me a second, please. tomorrow. Let's see, where is our plan? Good that he pushed it, but there is no branch anymore. Or it shouldn't be. Let's see. There you go. Where did he push it? 2 minutes ago. Okay. Okay, this one commit ahead. Fine, I guess. We can bring it in. What if I just get the document, right? I don't need the entire commit. I can just get this one. No, that's the file name. Ah, come on, GitHub, give me the file. Give me the file, please. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hey, come on. But do you think I'll be capable to actually implement this shadow system without touching or having other piece of the code? And I already have like isometric tile set created, implemented, and I have walls, etc. And I want to test this shader over there. Let's see what it did actually. Walls cast ground shadows and rotate and stretch with the day and night cycle at significant atmosphere and low rendering cost. Yeah. So approach, tile map sits below the wall shadow tiles, tile map layer sits below wall tiles in draw order. It mirrors the same cells when a wall is placed. Set the cell in both layers. A shader handles projection and coloring. The shader does two things. Vertex shader displaces each vertex to project a wall shape into the ground as a shadow. Vertices at the top of the wall sprite are displayed further than the base. Okay. Fragment shader colors everything as the flat dark shade. Samples the texture alpha for silhouette masking. Overrides RGB to shadow color. Okay, makes sense. Wall space and direction. All right. And there is some script for that. GLSL. Shader sketch. Time manager integration. Okay, we don't have a time manager though. Well, it looks really simple. It looks like super tiny shader. Right. So we need to prompt agent a little bit towards the correct approach. So how do I switch language in Windows? Yeah, there we go. Look, Look, we started working on isometric migration, and in parallel I want to implement and test this shadow shader. We have the scene called isometric_test that you should use to play with that. And here is the plan that we have created to implement the shader itself. Check it out, please. ask me questions. If you don't, Alt Shift plus Z. That never worked. Yeah, that never worked. I don't know why this stupid tool still shows me some old shortcuts. I had changed it already before. You see, change, push to talk, hold to say something short. Yeah, I don't even want it. Command mode. Select text and ask flow or perplexity. Past the last transcript. So should we do like this? Yeah. Right. Right. Alright. Where's my gift? Give me a gift. I earned an extra day of pro. Oh, I'm so pro. Alright. Read the plan, clean approach, one question before touching anything. Open question 1. Vertex displacement on badge time of player tiles is also flagged as unresolved in the occlusion shader plan. Has this been prototyped yet? Or is it still unknown? Because if the tile map layer batching flattens vertices before the shader run, the whole shadow approach needs to pivot. Sprite the shadow mesh per wall or a full screen shader sampling the wall depth buffer. Okay, I don't know that. Hold on. I configured the wrong shortcut. It should be V, not C. It should be V here. Push to talk. Yeah, there. V. Right. Oh, sorry. Wrong text. The wrong text. Hold on. Yeah, we take this one. And we put it here. Okay, and this guy is asking node interior GD is structurally different. Node interior is structurally different. Remind me please what node interior is doing. How is the node interior connects to the open world? You know why I'm asking that? Not because I forgot it, and just because we've been doing this refactoring for the open world system from node system, and it's been renaming files like all around, and it's supposed to actually take the node interior and reuse it. Player is an open world, walks up to the point, interactable, landmark, ruin entrance. I think you're hallucinating. Clicks, interactable and buzz when interacted. Games manager listens, enter node interior. Fair. Let me actually read the code instead of guessing. Like, what the fuck? That annoys me so much. Alright, yeah. I have to book the car for tomorrow. Give me a sec. Node interior isn't complete. Yeah, node interior is removed code. We aren't using it anymore. I was asking it because we have the template system that runs in open world, and I wasn't sure exactly if it's reusing node interior or not, and from your research it's probably not. Yeah, there's no travel, there's no encounters anymore. Templates are placed directly on open world scene, world structure, instances spawned into the chunk streamed environment. Node interior has a separate bounded scene concept that got cut. Yeah. The actual NAS mesh optical built-in for world structures happens where the templates are loaded into the world, not here. So it's not Isometrics switch plan, doc, reference, node interior extensively in sections. You have to check what exactly reference to the node about node interior, because node interior as the term might be still valid because they're talking about template interior. If they referring to node interior as the class, that has to be rethought. Right, so I'm booking the car for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Oh yeah, it's Thursday. Okay. Okay, alright. Should be something like that. Yeah. And home will be, let's see, 11. Yeah, that's okay. That should be okay. 2 hours. Here's the breakdown. Reference to node interior as the class. Stale points to removed code. All colors means the class not relevant. Builds a navigation mesh. That code reference. So the plan docs need 2 things. The point where the templates interior are actually handled. Okay, go ahead and update it. Don't hallucinate this time. If you're not sure about something, go and check it. Motherfucker. What? Do not hold the knife this time. I said do not hallucinate. Okay, let's see. What are we booking for tomorrow? What are we booking? Yeah, we should be getting this one, I think. That's a nice car. Corolla, oh sorry, Toyota Corolla Cross. Yeah, I like that one. It's so relatively cheap. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, my time is running low. I have to go. Because I need to smoke some shisha before I get insane. But thank you for staying today with me. It was really nice, artistic, graphical stream where we actually put some map together. I probably will continue working for the next couple of hours on migration plan. So tomorrow, when you come, the game probably will look a lot different than it is looking right now, and how it is looking right now. So stay tuned. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Love you. Bye.